Well, hello everyone. I hope that your day is going absolutely amazing whenever this video finds you. If you're new here, hi, hello, my name is Alyssa. It is so incredibly nice to meet you. I hope that you'll consider subscribing and hanging out with us. And if you're not new here, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to today's video. I am so excited. This kit is absolutely stunning. I am in love with it. I can't even tell you when I got it how, like, I think if you watch my video, I hauled it. It's just gorgeous. It's perfect. The florals are perfect and it's unconventionally Christmas, which I really, really like. So this kit is from Two Little Bees. It is called Frost. It has these super gorgeous Christmassy feeling things. It's not, I wouldn't say overtly Christmas. You could have definitely used this in like early January, but for some reason it just screamed Christmas week for me, which was super exciting. And I love it. I do layer it with these really beautiful My Spoiled Planner washi strips. I set it over just on top of the washi for a little bit of extra something. So, and I like how it turned out. So unfortunately, part of the middle chunk of this video when I went to upload and save and everything is missing. It was recording. I did have the clip. I don't know where it went. I think it got corrupted in the recording or in the uploading process, but I didn't not want to put out this video. So after Tuesday, Wednesday, it kind of jumps to Saturday, Sunday. So I am very sorry, but I'm going to talk about my week and I'll talk about the week that I had. I just won't do it in like as I'm planning that day. So you kind of get an idea of the Christmas week that I have. This is the week of Christmas, which sucks that that chunk is missing. But honestly, I still wanted to upload it. And this kit is gorgeous and you need to see how beautiful these pieces are. So I have use these really pretty florals from the kit. I did buy quite a few florals from the kit and look how gorgeous this is. This is so pretty. It is from Sadie Stickers. I love it. And I have a whole bunch of her Christmassy pieces. This is my final Christmas spread. I did a New Year's spread for the final week of December instead of a Christmas week. I know some people did 5 weeks of Christmas. I only did 4. And then I for the first week of January, it is just a regular wintry spread because I bought a ton of winter spreads and only 4 Christmas ones. So there you go. I have to say, I really, really love how this whole spread turned out. So I'm very excited to share it with you, which is why I am talking through my whole base process. It's generally because I felt bad that a whole bunch of it was missing. So I hope that you'll not be angry with me and just enjoy the video. So this is Christmas week. It is like, you know how they say between Christmas and New Year's, there's like that chunk of days where you don't know what day it is. You don't know what's happening. This kind of starts that off. It was a very weird week for me and a very emotionally intense week for me. So on Wednesday, Nathan woke up not feeling well. Now he and I have all 3 of my vaccines. I'm boosted. Nathan actually gets his booster today, or he's already had it. So he had it earlier. And then he had to wait to get his booster because I had my first vaccine so early on. I had to get my booster sooner because I was working in healthcare at the time and I got my first vaccine back in January. So everything was always moved up for me. So I'm always getting all of that earlier because there was like that timeline. And then, and we'd also had, if you remember, we'd had COVID back in April. So, and we had, I believe at the time, I think it was called the British variant or the Delta variant, one of the two we had. And so we had it really, really bad. So, on Wednesday, he woke up not feeling well and I kind of looked at him and I was like, okay. So initially that day, I was supposed to spend the whole day with my mom. I was going to go help her with her final Christmas shopping, do some stuff with her. My mom and I do a lot of stuff over the Christmas holidays together. And it's kind of always just been our tradition. So instead of going there, I kind of called her and I was like, okay, Nathan's going to take an antigen test. We're going to see where we're at and I'll let you know. So we got to his work and they brought out, and I kid you not, they brought out an open, like the swab was open. The plastic part there was no like packaging, like an open antigen test. I had thought that they'd just opened it for him. No, it was sitting open. So I didn't know that at first. So he went and took the test and came back positive. And we were like, how does this happen? And he wasn't even 6 months out from his second vaccine. And we just had it in April. So we're like, okay, it can happen. Let's figure it out. So we came back home. We basically isolated ourselves. And my mom was like, well, we have New Year's And he said he had a bit of a headache earlier on in the week, but it wasn't really like, it was just a headache. He thought it was like weather related. And so he ended up, I kind of looked it up, and we had like plans because we went to Huntsville for New Year's, and we had plans to go away and travel plans. So I ended up booking him for a PCR test, because at that point I was like, can you call your work and ask why it was open? And that's when they said, well, we found it open. So we're like, okay, well, that's we can't really judge that PCR test because we don't know who touched it. We don't know whatever. No one else at his work came back positive on PCR test. His entire work had to take it. So we're like, well, this is weird, because he's been with them all week. And so I ended up booking him in for a travel PCR test that we did have to pay for, which is perfectly fine. And they get it back to us within 12 hours. So we basically spent all of the entire day on Wednesday just chilling, because we were going to end up doing Christmas over Zoom, because I'm not going to expose my family to that. Newsflash, he came back negative on Thursday morning. So we don't know what was up with the antigen test, but he came up completely negative Thursday morning, which was like bomb. We ended up going to my family's for Christmas. So it was a very, very emotionally roller coasty kind of middle of the week. I'm just glad that he's okay. More importantly, that everyone else was okay. My entire family ended up going for PCR tests just in case, because we'd all been boosted. Some of us had already had it when Nathan and I had it. So we were just like, well, maybe they just wanted to make sure they weren't asymptomatic. And if we had to cancel our plans in our hotel reservation, we needed to know. Every single person came back negative, which was amazing. Nathan just had a cold, and I feel like we forget that the cold still exists and people can still get sick around this time of year. It's flu season, right? Nathan ended up feeling better the next day. So he woke up he said it was probably because our entire apartment or condo was dry. So yeah, it was a cold that stressed me the hell out, but it is what it is. But yeah. Okay. So let me talk about what's going on the page, because I've been super chatty. Again, all these florals are from the kit. They're absolutely stunning. I love them. I use this gorgeous Polaroid from Miss and Meow at the very top of my header. And then all of my little hanging baubles are from Paper Trail Plans, which are so gorgeous. I do want to say all of my icons, again, are from White Deer Stationery. They've just been fitting really well with a lot of the watercolory kits that I've been using, or the very soft kits that I've been using. So I've been reaching for them a little more. And then I just use a lot of foil embellishments. Some of them were left over from the Letters to Apollo. I have some from Pretty Pink Code, Bloom Paper Studios, Sadie Stickers. The Giving Girl has a few, and then I also have a bunch from Simply Beautiful Plans as well that I've been kind of pulling from and picking at through the last couple of spreads. So those are all of my foils, and I kind of show them as I use them anyways. But yeah, so on Monday, I did a deep clean. I am such a firm believer in like clean space, clear mind, because like, let me tell you, if this place is a mess and it's like crummy and I can see like what I cooked for dinner last night, it drives me absolutely bonkers. So I did a full deep clean of the bedroom. I actually redid my entire closet and sorting system. I got rid of a ton of extra clothing prior to that. So I just kind of want to rework my closet. I cleaned the entire bathroom, did a full deep clean of the bathroom, which I do at least once a week, sometimes twice a week, depending on how crazy it gets. I do a lot of like hair masks and body masks. So sometimes the oils and the creams get stuck on the side of the tub. So I tend to have to scrub that down once or twice a week. And then I did a huge deep clean of the kitchen, rearranged our entire counter. I wanted my KitchenAid somewhere where I could reach it. I had it like in our hallway closet. It was the only place that had a tall enough shelf to fit it. So I ended up just reworking our entire countertop. I have my coffee and my tea and my drink section over on the other side of my stove. And then I have like my toaster, my KitchenAid, and my Vitamix right in front of me, along with like my knife rack and all of those things. So it just works out a lot better. It just works out so much better. So I'm very excited to have it look like that and just be a little bit more accessible and really serve us. So I did a full rework of that, which felt great. And yeah, so I used some embellishments from Sadie Stickers and some Bloom Paper Studios over here, and then some gorgeous little headers from my Pretty Pinko. And the header is actually the half snowflake, which I so love. And then again, some more pretty florals, and then a hanging little dropping light from the Giving Girl, which is so beautiful as well. By the way, if you are new here, I do have a ton of PR codes for you. They are down in the description box below. And then I've also, some of the shops that I've mentioned that I used are, let's see, the PR codes for are The Giving Girl, which is Alyssa 10 for 10% off your order. Pretty Pinko, which is Alyssa 15 for 15% off your order. Plus, you're going to get my freebie. Pretty Pinko is now also order to ship, or what is it called? Ready to ship. There it is. Order to ship, ready to ship. So I've been getting her stuff so quickly. I think I talked about that in my haul the other day, that her stuff has been coming so incredibly quickly. And yeah, on this day as well, we started Natty's longer walks. So this was the first time I was able to take her down to the park down the street where we first started taking her, and she first started to meet dogs in the area. She just started dreaming, and she's running in her sleep as soon as I said park. It's so cute. So I took her just up the street, and we're trying to re-socialize her because she hasn't really seen other dogs besides Theo and Cardi for probably at least a month. She's seen them in passing and on walks, and that hasn't been successful. She was very, very barky and growly, and we think it was because of her cast and her feeling really vulnerable, because now she doesn't do that, which is interesting. So I took her there. She actually got to not really wrestle, but play with a couple dogs and see them again. And then we walked back. So it was only about 20 minutes of walking. We did get a full clean bill of health. In exactly 2 weeks, she is allowed to go back to the dog park for at least half an hour. We're going to work it up. So we're going to go for like 20 minutes to half an hour for the first couple weeks. And then hopefully by the end of February, we can go back to our full hours there. She can't put a lot of stress on it yet. I think I talked about my last video, but her radius is completely healed. Really, the calcification looks great. She's got a full metal bar there, but it's the ulna that has a little bit of a hairline still. It's mostly healed, but he just wants to see it. He wants to give it 2 more weeks, and that should be it. He said the calcification looks great on that. There's a tiny, tiny, tiny little hairline, and he just doesn't want a re-break or a stress fracture on it. So he just said give her 2 weeks before she can go fully off leash and go like a spaz. But because she's a puppy, she healed so incredibly well, which is really exciting. So yeah. So also during that day, I also packed up my gifts. So because I cleaned the office as well that day, I packed up all the remaining gifts that I had, and I got it ready to go for what was supposed to be on Wednesday, but we ended up bringing it with us on Thursday. For the last couple weeks, as I've been like piling gifts have been getting a little crazy in my office, I've been dropping them off at my mom's every Sunday and putting them in my own room in a big Santa sack, just so we didn't have to bring Natty, her gate, our like suitcases for overnights, any additional gifts and all this extra stuff, because like winter weather, and Nathan has a little tiny Fiat 500, a sport Fiat 500, and we can barely fit the 3 of us in there, let alone have Natty and all of her extra things in there as well. So, or 2 of us and then Natty. And so we just decided to pre-pack that. By the way, this is me trying to count back and figure out when I should start my countdown for Christmas in this spread. I have these really pretty letters to Apollo countdowns that I love. I use these countdowns, but I actually normally use them in my monthlies. I don't get to use them. It's not that I don't get to use them. I just don't always remember to pull them out for my spreads, but I always pull them out for my monthlies. So you don't get to see them in spreads so much. I am going to do a monthly, I just have to finish. I keep saying I have to do this. I have to finish my August spread. The kit isn't one that I normally would use. It's a gorgeous kit. It didn't have all the extra embellishments to really make it like it did come with like florals and boxes and stuff the way that a lot of the ones I use normally do. So I didn't quite get to, I don't even know how to say this. I didn't quite find florals that I love with it. So it's been a little harder to plan with, but as soon as I get that done, I am about halfway done that one. I will finish off my other ones and then go ahead and do a little walkthrough of the rest of my spreads. I'm also doing a year of spreads video where we're going to go through every spread that I did in 2021, and you'll actually see the evolution of how I plan. It's kind of cool. It goes from being like really pretty to like super extra with the florals, which I love. So I was going through it and just looking at it. So I'm doing that and filming that one probably this week, and I'll have that up in the next week or 2. I just want to play catch up with my plan with me because I am a week and a bit behind. So, and that is okay because life happens. So yeah. All right. So next, let's see. On Wednesday was that dreaded day. I don't know what happened. But it was a crazy, crazy day. We had I had a bunch of calls to make on the Wednesday for the adoptions that I was working on. And then I also had to finish up the last minute stocking gifts and wrap those. Nathan had his PCR test, and then we just binged The Witcher for the rest of the day. So everything I did was kind of just here. I also did a grocery order that was to be delivered the next day just in case, because I was working in the morning and then we were going to head over to my parents. And then if his PCR came back negative, so I had to do a grocery thing that day that did end up coming on Thursday morning, and I had to bring half the food with me because it was going to go bad. But yeah, so I'm kind of glad that we got that order in, but it was like, oh, okay, type of thing, right? So that was pretty much most of our Wednesday. So on Thursday, that is our 2 days to Christmas, Nathan's test came back negative that day. So initially what we were going to do is because my rest of my family ended up going to get their PCR test, we were all waiting for our test around the same days. So what was going to happen is because we'd been with them on the weekend prior, if Nathan had it, they would have it too. If everyone else came back positive, we were actually going to isolate together. I was going to leave the condo because I didn't want to risk getting anyone else sick just in case. I'm in a condo where there's a lot of people and I do need to go up and down to let Natty out and move around. So we were going to, if we all came back positive, we were actually going to all isolate at my parents' house. That way we kind of can keep it contained and we're careful. And that way Natty had a place where she could just run out in the back and come back in and we didn't have to really leave the house. But every single person came back negative, which is really all we could have asked for. So I was quite excited about that. So we did that. The grocery delivery came on Thursday. The reason I'm jumping ahead, by the way, is again, because my video ends up cutting out really soon. Unfortunately, it's going to cut out, but I will show you you're going to have the pan through so you can see the entire spread nice and slow. I'll make my pan nice and long, and hopefully you're not too upset with me. I don't know what happened to it. I guess it got corrupted partway, and usually when I see a corrupt file, I just delete it. And because it could be another just video that I've taken of Natty. I just didn't realize that it was like the video. And then it happens, unfortunately, with using an iPhone but the good news is I am no longer going to be editing on my Acer. I'm going to be editing on my MacBook because I just got my hand-me-down MacBook from my mom. And that's going to be my editing. So I'll be able to just airdrop instead of trying to upload and having the potential corruption. So this should not happen again, which is very exciting. And then in the evening, I did another Sephora order. And I actually ended up ordering a couple of makeup pieces that I saw that went on sale, and a Lululemon order as well, because there were a couple of little pieces that I saw that were on sale that I really wanted for our trip. So I got some really cute maxi dresses that were very comfy to go over a bathing suit, and some shorts, so because they have them really cute hottie hot shorts, and I wanted some because it gets very hot in Costa Rica. I wanted some shorts and stuff just for the beach and some skirts, so I did an order from Lululemon from that. And then, so that was my Thursday. And then on Friday was Christmas Eve. So I actually worked all day on Friday for Christmas. I worked in the morning. I got off at I think 1 o'clock. And then I ended up just going to my parents for dinner, and it was just us. We kept it family only. Usually we'd have all of our Italian side coming, but everyone kind of did what they did last year, hung out on their own. We all ended up taking, not us, but because my aunt was coming over the next day, they came by just to see how we were doing. And then we were kind of by the way, we're good. You guys can come for dinner. So they ended up taking tests as well, just to make sure. And then they ended up coming for dinner on Christmas Day. So we have just been really careful. We have a lot of older people in our family, and we're just not playing games. So I'm sure everyone understands. So that was our Saturday. We just ended up just kind of chilling. I also make breakfast. I have a tradition on Christmas where I make breakfast for everyone. It's a Christmas breakfast. I've been doing it probably the last 8 years. So that is it. We literally do gifts in the morning, and then I go, and it takes me about a half an hour, 45 minutes to make breakfast for everyone, and then we all sit down. So what are your Christmas traditions? I love hearing Christmas traditions. Let me know down in the comments below what your Christmas special traditions are, and I'd love to chat about them. And then on Sunday, if you're wondering, I did Starbucks run, and I've worked all day. I literally just worked. It was Boxing Day, and it gets really crazy for us, so it wasn't as crazy as I thought it was going to be, but it was still a lot. But yeah, so that is my week. I am sorry a whole chunk of it went missing. I hope you enjoy the pan around in just a few seconds so you can see the entire spread. Stay safe, guys. Stay warm, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.